And now, around the world and around the corner, it's the David Bowers Awards, bringing the best in indie music to millions of listeners worldwide with your host, the David Bowers. We've got a fantastic lineup of guests, as well as our engineer extraordinaire, Nick the Geek, our entire crew here at the Asylum, and me. I'm John Bon Jovial. And now, here's the voice of indie music, the David Bowers.
Thank you very much, the legendary John Bon Jovial, ladies and gentlemen. And what a guy. What a guy. I mean, I'm just, yes. We'll talk more about him in a minute. But first, want to welcome you. Thank you for coming by to spend another hour with us. We've got some more great indie music, a couple of new guests for you to meet and learn about. And we'll start that right now with a return engagement from a guest we had on some time ago from upstate New York, a couple who call themselves SIRSY, and they've got a new one out this is something a little bit different than what you're used to. If you're used to SIRSY, if you're familiar with them at all, this thing is a rockin', bangin' anthem called Like a Drum.
I beat my troubles like a drum. I beat my troubles like a drum. I beat my troubles like a drum. As I will beat this like a drum.
Like a Drum. That's SIRSY from upstate New York, Melanie Kramer, Richard Labuti. And I think that we're going to have to get them back on the show. It's been too long since they were on the show. And I just realized, you know what I just realized, John Bon Jovial?
What did you just realize there, Mr. David Bowers?
I just realized that we never asked them where they came up with that name from, SIRSY, SIRSY. I could see, maybe if we're referring to him as Sir, but then that would leave her as S-Y. I don't know. Is that the last half of the word sissy or what?
Or maybe they're Spanish as a SIRSY.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, well,
fortunately,
that's what you got me here for, is to have all these thoughts.
Yeah, I would have probably been very upset with myself if I had thought of that. But anyway, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, ready to roll through another The David Bowers Award. And we've got all kinds of fun here today on the show, where every show is an award show, which makes each of our guests automatic award winners. And we want to thank Titty Bingo, our house band, for our theme music, and remind you to be sure and check them out online at tittybingo.com. Got some great rock and roll. I know you're going to enjoy it, and they are a great bunch. They back up some great artists, too, so they keep busy not only on their own, but working with some of the other celebrities like, Willie, for one. And remember, you and our guests help us pick the awards. So if you have knowledge of someone that or some group that has done something really good or really dumb, and relating to music, of course, why, drop us a line at david@thedavidbowers.com. Tell us about it, and who knows, we may use that as a The David Bowers Award right here on the show. And address again is david@thedavidbowers.com. Put award in the subject line. Right now, in the interest of transparency, I'm going to read a list of all the billionaires who contribute to supporting this show.
Okay, I'm ready. Thank you for that.
There you go. That's the list of all the billionaires.
In-depth and accurate list.
Absolutely. We want to be totally transparent here, and we also want to shout out to some of our friends. So pay attention here. You might want to take notes. Mary Perry up in Rochester, accredited disability representative who underwrites the David Bowers Awards on WRFZ FM 106.3, Rochester Free Radio. And she's the only one I know that is underwriting this show, and she is not a billionaire. So there you go. Also, we want to salute a past guest, Richie Lambert, and his band Ambulance. They were on the show September 15th. And also a bunch of people that they ran into at JFK on Sunday, the 29th of September. That can't be. Yes, that was right. Sunday the 29th. Richie Lambert and his band were in JFK in New York City, and they were listening to the David Bowers Awards while they waited for their plane. And apparently, so were a few other people who gathered around them and also listened to the show. So we had a command performance at JFK in New York City, John Bon Jovial.
Yeah, how about that? I think that is really pretty cool.
Really. Richie told me that the band loves the show, and that Dan from the band, Dan the man from the band, never mind. He was sitting with his now fiance, Abby, and that was the gentleman who was going to propose to his now fiance when they were over here in the States. They're getting ready, or were getting ready to go back at the time. Anyway, they were listening at JFK, and a bunch of American travelers were sitting around listening with them, going, "Wow, is that you guys?" So Dan says it was a definite out-of-body experience. So we thank you, Dan, and Richie, and all the band, and, of course, all the listeners there at JFK. Our first The David Bowers Award for the week comes under the headline, New Alexa Features That Make Your Home Simpler, Smarter, and Safer. We found this tidbit of information that'll make transition listening much easier for everyone who uses Alexa, because soon Alexa will sync with your favorite podcast and on-demand audio apps. So if you've started a podcast using the Spotify, SiriusXM, or iHeartRadio app on your phone, you'll be able to pick up where you left off on your Alexa devices when you get home. And they're also adding the ability to navigate podcasts by time frame and topic to make it even easier to get you the content that you want. And one footnote here we want to toss in also, Michael Stover of MTS Management, who also has he's provided guests for us in the past and today as well. And Michael and Amanda Judge Stover Callie, and Joshua. We want to congratulate the family on the upcoming addition to their family. They will be joined by one more Stover in the not too far distant future, and I'm sure we'll get a bulletin and be able to let you know about that. But congratulations, Michael Stover and family, on the impending addition to your family. We're about ready to get into our music now, and John Bon Jovial, before we do, how are things in Bon Jovial land?
Well, it's fall now here in Florida, and we
I
can
thought
tell,
you said fell.
No, well, I've done that too. But the seasons are changing. You can always tell we're getting into the autumn of the year because the colors are just barely starting to change on the license plates now.
That's a good barometer. When the season changes and it starts turning cold, the license plates turn to different colors and no longer just the Florida plates. Yes, that was very clever. I think we should move right along into some music by our first guest. And she goes by the name of Ashley Puckett. Lovely, talented young lady. I know you're going to want to listen to her when she comes in to talk right after we listen to her current hit called Medicine.
The weakness calls again. Even the morning sun feels cold. My hands can't hold a prayer. Feels like no one's there. And I can't shake this feeling of alone. Here you come. Bring me your healing love. Like a pillow underneath my tongue. I know it won't be long. In no time at all, I'll be okay again. Baby, you're my medicine. In a world full of words, the only thing that works is your arms wrapped around me in the silence. Soon I'm strong enough to walk, knowing when I fall and lose my way, you will help me find it. Here I am. You bring me your healing love. Like a pillow underneath my tongue. I know it won't be long. In no time at all, I'll be okay again. Baby, you're my medicine. You bring me your healing love. Like a pillow underneath my tongue. I know it won't be long. In no time at all, I'll be okay again. Baby, you're my medicine. Baby, you're my medicine. Baby, you're my medicine.
And there you have it. That's Medicine, the new release from Ashley Puckett. And Ashley is here to chat with us. Ashley, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you guys doing?
Doing real great and happy to have you here with us to talk today. You've got a great track there. I love the track. I understand you have an entire album coming out very shortly.
I do very soon. The goal is still to get the album released by the end of the year, so I'm very excited. Worked very hard on this for quite some time. There's, I think, a track on there for everybody. There's 13 songs on the album, so I'm really excited to see some feedback once I get it out there.
Well, let's get the promotion out there. What's the title